Okay, here is the Sensecap miner that we're going to be setting up in a few minutes. They do provide some directions right there that pretty much explains everything that we're going to be doing in just a few minutes. The unit looks just like this when it comes out of the box. Notice it has a 1 dB antenna that's probably going to need to be replaced. If you're going to use the Ethernet port that's right there, you're going to have to hook that to an Ethernet port connected to your computer. Otherwise, you could probably sync this using Wi-Fi as well. Excuse my other miners, but you're going to have to press this button here and hold it for 5 seconds. So I'm going to do that to reset it. And then it should come back on after I've got this thing plugged into the Ethernet port. Okay, we're going to start grounding the antenna. So we have a grounding wire right here. You can see that we stripped it, and then we're going to attach it. And actually, we're not even going to use this. One of these connectors would be much better. But what we're going to do is just going to wrap it around the top right up there instead of this connector. And then we're going to ground it once we go outside. So we're preparing this ahead of time so that we can actually mount this properly. Okay, again, this is temporary. This is just to get this miner up and running. Remember, we can seal this in and make it look good later, and we will do that in subsequent videos. Okay, again, this is a temporary fix until we know exactly where we want things permanently. We don't even know how much we're going to be able to mine yet, so we may need to place the antenna someplace else. So this is trial and error. Okay, so we got Tom attaching the cable right now. Notice that he's used a couple clamps, and that's called a dormer in back, and you can see where we fed it through into the attic. So that's actually probably the most efficient way to get it into your house quickly. All right, and then to not use too much cable. Remember, the longer the cable, the more the loss of signal. All right, and he's doing some fine touches on it right now. Okay, Tom, go ahead. Say that again about maybe strengthening it up in case you're in a windy area.
The PVC pipe could be strengthened. You'd have to sleeve it and go on the inside of the house. But you could sleeve it out.
And you could still do it in the same area and it'd still be fairly easy to do, correct?
Yeah, you just have to have more rigid pipe.
Okay.
This is schedule 40. You might go schedule 80.
Got it. Thanks. Okay, the next step is going to be, this is inside the garage, is to run this up over, okay, to where I can get into my attic. And so that's where the miner is going to actually be. Okay, we're back in the attic, and what we're doing is just feeding it through the very top, okay, over to where it's going to go, where our unit will be placed. Okay, for right now, I'm just like leaving these things hanging until I make sure that it's up and running and I'm getting exactly what I want. Otherwise, it's probably gonna have to be moved. Okay, maybe possibly to a different location or putting a new antenna on it. All right, so that's my last step, and then we're gonna have to see how it actually syncs and how it mines. Okay, so we found a grounding rod or wire right there, right by the main area in the front of the house. So we're going to just attach the green grounding wire to that instead of running a whole grounding pole down into the ground.